Hello everyone, it is Demo Donna here. I'm going to change that screen to that. There we go. There, now you can see me a little bit better. Maybe. For some reason, I think my Wi-Fi is a little delayed. So sorry, my voice doesn't quite match my mouth. I know that must be weird to see. But it has been snowing here all day, and sometimes the weather messes with the Wi-Fi. So hopefully it doesn't screw up too much of this live video, and you guys can still enjoy it to the fullest. I, like most of you, get very inspired by what's happening, like at all the stores when all the Christmas stuff starts to roll out, and I really do love holiday black and white plaids. So I thought I would have some fun tonight and do some black and white plaid with little pops of red here and there. And I am using mostly dyes tonight, some oldies but goodies, and one stamp set, pine bows. So thank you everyone for joining me. If you're watching on replay later on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you say hi and check in. Let me know how the weather is where you are, what you've been playing with this week. Really excited for this week's new product launch at the end of the week. It's going to be very fun. So many snowflake backgrounds. I'm so excited. All right, you guys, let's get started. Again, thank you for joining me, everybody. Hi, Karen, Maria, Lori, J.A., Murray, Susan, all of you. Really appreciate you stopping by. Okay, here is what I've been working on all day today. I love these plaid dyes. If you've seen them and can't really quite imagine what to do with them, there's a lot of fun different layers you can do. Here's all of my, I pretty much stamped out a lot of the pine bows and pine cones. I'm going to show you guys all the different dyes that I'm using, but was very inspired again by, you know, heading out to some of my local retailers, and I love seeing the black and white, the black Christmas trees on white paper. Really cool. I don't think I've ever had a black Christmas tree before, so I have some cut out, which is fun. I'm going to show you all of the dyes that I'm using first and foremost. So the plaid dyes are plaid cover dye A and B. So they look like this. I do believe there is a pack set where you can get both of them. So that is a lot of fun grabbing those guys. I have taught a class in the past using this die set, which was really fun. Okay, so that one's done. I showed you that. I'm also using the Sweet Birds dies. So inspired by one of my upcoming classes, we are going to cut out one of these birds in all red. So that'll be our little pop of red. But have fun. Play around with the different birds. Maybe do a black and white bird. I think it'll be cool to add these guys to some of your holiday cards. And then the other dies that I'm using are the winter wreath decor dies. So I cut out some of these fun little sprigs here, as well as the snowflakes and this little poinsettia die. So here's these little snowflakes. You can see how cute and tiny these things are. Great little accent for your holiday cards. Sometimes you just need a little extra something. I love this leaping reindeer. Super cute. So that again is winter wreath decor dies. And then I cut out probably 3 each. Die set 1 and 2, the card cut essentials. So I am using those as well for my layering. And those are all the dies that I'm using. Oh, that's not true. I'm also using the little tree dies. So I used 3 of them, and I'm going to show you a really fun technique with these tonight. Something I've done in the past, but really enjoy doing. And then another stamp and die set. These I borrowed from my mom, but these are still available at Pink and Mine. These Pink and Mine. Well, it is kind of Pink and Mine sometimes. Pink and Main, and these are the pine bows. I've literally had to ask 4 times how to say that. I keep trying to say it wrong. So these are the pine bows, and there are stamps and dies. This is an older die set, but I love it. How fun would this be with a full background, like tone on tone? In fact, I wish that I had embossed these in black so they were even darker, because my ink is a little muted, which kind of happens with black ink sometimes. That's what makes embossing so much fun. All right, so we are going to get started here. I was trying to figure out a bunch of different ways of how to use both of these and do a black and white plaid. So what I figured out is you basically cut out both dies and the color you want, and that's how you create a black and white plaid. So here I have, wow, this is really delayed. Sorry guys. There we go. That darn weather. Hopefully it's not too behind for you guys. Sorry about that. All right, so again, I just simply cut out both of the dies with the black, and I am mounting it on a white card. Now, because these are exactly A2 size, I find I do a 6 by 5.5 cutout sheet of paper before I run these through my die cut machine. So it's a nice perfect cut. Also, I didn't use my one die that cuts better, my one die cut machine. But when I cut out this one, I put shims over the top of the metal die. And I will show you. And Michelle helped me with that little trick. So basically, you're going to take your die, you're going to take your paper. So let's say this is our paper here. And then I just added little pieces of paper over each of these detailed sections before I ran it through my die cut machine. So it cut everything out and I didn't have any issues, and that made it work perfectly. If you have any other fun tips when working with more detailed dies, feel free to share them with your fellow crafty friends. I'm sure we'd all love to hear about them. Over the last, gosh, I'm probably going on like 30 years of being a crafter at this point. I should just say the many, many years of crafting. I have heard lots of different ways to die cut those detail dies with some amazing plates out there available. I think we used to use wax paper. I think there was something with a dryer sheet. There's just been so many different tricks in the past on how to cut out really fine. Oh, come back. All right, let's see here. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Again, you'll just have to be patient. I don't know why the Wi-Fi. It's the first real snow of the season, so I guess this entire town is probably trying to figure that out. Okay, step one. I like to put the darker one on first there, the thicker one. Of course, now that I'm having technical difficulties, it's going to distract my brain. All right, so I like to put on this thicker one first, and then I layer on the finer detail. So I'm just going to go ahead again, apply my thin little glue. All around the edges. There we go. And you just layer that right over top. I have played with, another really fun holiday color palette is the red, pink, and green, which is really pretty. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here is my black and white plaid base. I'm going to set that aside. And I am going to do my black and white one now using these guys. So I've got a black base here, and I went and I cut out the dies in white. At first I was playing around with using like the light brown Pink and Maine cardstock, but I really wanted to keep it true to the black and white. So this was the best way to do it. Okay, the larger one first, and then the more detailed die. So far you've just seen me glue paper. So for any of you coming on late, you haven't missed much, except my Wi-Fi being very picky tonight. Okay, so we are gonna drop that layer down. My background paper is a little larger, so when I'm done, I'll just trim that. Oh, we'll just do it now. You know, I've got these tiny little scissors that can get the job done, because I'm gonna stare at that all night. It's gonna bug me. So I'm just gonna trim that off. There we go. Great. Huh. This is such a bummer. Why is the Wi-Fi so bad? Hey, Kelly? I'm back. Sorry, guys. The problem is if I have my husband reboot everything, you won't see me anymore. I'll have to start all over. So I'm going to keep trying. If it becomes a big problem, I will log back in if you totally lose me. Hopefully it just gets better. But it's a bummer that my Wi-Fi is so terrible. Darn you, Winter. Okay, now that we have our two card bases and you can see how simple it is to create a black and white plaid by just cutting out both of them in the same color and having the opposite color card base. We are going to create, excuse me, the centers of our cards. So these are going to be the background, and I am going to, these are the pieces that I cut out from our die cutting essentials, which I love that card base. Love being able to add different layers in. And I am going to do a nice little center here. Nice white band. And then I'm going to layer in black. Really continuing my black and white theme. So these pretty much are going to be my two card bases. Very similar, just flip-flop. This one I'm going to have black and white, but this one I want to stamp. So I'm not going to glue this one in yet. I will glue my black base. There we go. Okay, layer that guy down. I did not know it was going to be snowing all day today. Little winter surprise here in Minnesota. Okay, next, I'm going to just put that off to the side so I know that's not glued. We are going to assemble our little birdie. And I'm going to go ahead and show you that die set again, which is this guy here, the Sweet Birds die. And I chose this bird here. And I'm not doing the eyes. I didn't cut out the nose or the feet. I'm just basically cutting out the bird body in all the same color and pasting it on, making myself like a little cardinal. So it's this guy here. All right, I am now going to assemble my bird. I'm going to start with this piece. And I used stop sign, that beautiful pink and main red. So there is his body. Here is his cute little feather hat. And you can even, if you want it to look more like a cardinal, you can not layer it. You can just give it that single look. And his cute little feather, which I'm just gonna glue right up here. So if I want to, I can pop it out for a little added dimension on my card. And then the tail, I'm just gonna add a little glue right there. Stick it out right about there. And you can always go in. I don't even know if I brought a black pen over here with me. Let's see if this guy works. You can always just do, oh good, just a little black eyeball if you want. Or you could skip that entirely and just have the full red silhouette. But there is that little eyeball right there. Okay, for my stamp design for this one is going to be my trees. This guy here. And I am going to stamp it. I'm going to take these two pieces just in case I don't like my stamp design. And I am going to do Season's Greetings. A stamp block would be very helpful. This is what happens when I clean my desk and I put everything away. Let me grab that. Please hold. I'm still here. I haven't ditched you. Okay. Sorry about that. Here is the Season's Greetings. And we are going to do a plaid technique. So for those who have watched me do lives over the years, this is a really fun technique, very easy to do. You can obviously practice a lot, stamp things out, but I am going to do a red and black plaid. So what you're going to want to do first, will you do a tutorial with the November Crafty Courthouse? I did, Cynthia. I did, sorry, I saw all caps. I did in the beginning of the month. So check that out. It says November kit. Okay, so I am going to ink this up with the red, and then I am going to take my black ink and we are going to make a plaid. So I am simply now going to go along the edge there and I just simply did my red and my green. And then you have a really cool plaid stamp out. So I took my red first, and then I went with my black, and I kind of did, oh, that's too close. Sorry, guys. I've got such a delay because of my sad little Wi-Fi. But I've got nice little lines in there where it really does look like a cool plaid stamp out. Okay, I'm going to stamp out since I have my inks all ready to go. And again, I cut out two just in case one didn't look so great. All right, I am going to, of course I have ink all over my fingers. I'm going to do my second seine right now, and I'm going to do the same technique. And this one is Sending Holiday Cheer. So I'm going to stamp that down. And since this particular stamp has never been used, I am going to just stamp it out a couple times and kind of clean the ink off. This is my lazy way of kind of seasoning my stamp. If you notice sometimes when you take a brand new clear stamp out of the package and you ink it up, sometimes it tends to bubble up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go do some lines. And I'm going to stamp that out right there, sending holiday cheer. There we go. Ooh, I like that one. Turned out really fun. I wanted to try one more color combination that I haven't done before, just to kind of play around with it. So I've got my two stamp sayings, and I wanted to try a gray and a black as well, because I thought if you didn't have red in there, let's say you were doing an all black and white theme. So I'm going to ink that up with my gray, and then I'm going to take my black, and it needs to be a raised ink pad. So some of those ink pads have the ink inside of the tray. So in order to make those lines, you definitely need to have a raised ink pad. Okay, and even though that has my fingerprints on it, we're going to stamp it on this one just to see how that turned out. Definitely looks cooler with the red. You can tell a little bit more. This kind of looks like I just did not stamp the black very well. So good to know. Something I wanted to try. And you know, that even would look really cute with a pink and black plaid. So, all right, good to know. I was wondering if the black and gray would look good or not, but since I knew the red and gray did, the red and black did, I knew that would be a win. Okay, we are done with our stamping. I'm going to put my little stamp saying away. And again, the stamps that I'm using are from the Pine Bows stamp set. And there's some great, something you want to look for when you do this technique is it can't just be a really skinny font. It needs to be a thicker, fatter font where you can actually see the really cool plaid look into your stamp set. So if it's just a really skinny stamp same, that's not going to work. And now you know. Okay, so we are going to do this guy for here. Before I glue this on, I would like to use some of the twine. I just pulled this out of the package, so let's see if I can actually find, there we go. When I attach my twine, I usually attach it to both sides, and I use the Easy Tear tape. And I just basically put it where I want. I have ink all over my fingers, which is then going to go all over my white paper, which it already is. So we're just going to ignore that. It is very windy out there too, so, you know, that definitely has not helped my cause of. Okay, here is our saying with our adorable little twine on it, and this is from the Pink and Main collection. The red is also really cute. I was thinking of doing two of them, but we don't want to, you know, go too crazy. Our red is just going to be a hint. I'm going to pop this up. So I am going to take two pieces of this and pop that up. Again, really sorry about my Wi-Fi. You know, you work all day to put together a perfect live, and then the universe does not cooperate. And then it makes you crazy. All right. There we go. Okay, this guy here is going to be my trees. And we are going to do something fun with our little trees, everybody. So I have cut out, we're going to first add our little bases. Let's scoot you guys over. There we go. So we are going to do, I think, 4 trees. Ooh, I changed my mind. Maybe we're going to do 5. We're going to do 4 on one side, 3 on the other. So let's start with applying our little base to each one of them. I need my lovely assistant to hold that while I work on the next one. So tree number 1, tree number 2, these are such fun trees. I was so excited when I saw them in the kit. These are from last month with the cute little honey bears. Okay, this little guy here. And I have 1 more to go. This is always the fun part, right? Watching people do the same thing over and over again. Okay. All right. Who has played with these bears? Have you posted? You guys know you should be sharing all of your awesome cards over on the Crafty Courtyard, the Pink and Main store. Not store, Facebook page. Really fun. Okay, here are my trees. I'm going to start with this guy in the back. So this guy is going to go right about there. We're going to do some fun layering. This guy, I don't think we need that much of a tree stump. All right, and we are going to take this guy. The fun part's coming up, our really fun little technique. Okay, there's that one there. And then we are going to do 1 more right here. So here's our little tree cluster. Don't want to cover up my greeting. There we go. So here is our cute little tree cluster, and then I'm going to do 1 more on this side. Grab my all black tree and stick it right about there. Now, if you wanted to, you can just stop right there. You can add some bling, some embellishments. Very cute. But I'm going to show you a really fun and easy 3-dimensional technique that you can do with any of your symmetrical dies. Because these dies are so small, once you cut them out, it's a little harder to fold them in half because they're so tiny. So if you were just going to try to fold them in half, like I said, it's a little trickier because the die is so small to get a nice score. So what I recommend on something smaller like this is actually score your paper first. So I scored that, then place your dies on the score line in the center. You can add a little washi tape, then cut them out. Then you just fold them on the score line. So now I have all of these cute little trees folded on the score line. So that is the trick with this technique on smaller dies. If this was a larger die, I've done this with pumpkins, apples, cats. If it's a larger die, you can usually just fold it in half. So I'm going to stick that right down the center. Hold that for a second. And there's tree number 1. Add my craft glue. Right down the center. Tree number 2. And then do my black one. Especially the pink and Maine paper is 100 pound. So that paper is thicker. So scoring your paper first definitely makes it a lot easier. Okay, and there is my 3rd tree. So now I've got a super cute, very easy dimensional embellishment with those trees, which is a lot of fun. Okay, we are now going to take our snowflakes and we are going to pop them all around. I hope you guys could see me. I am terribly sorry. I have no patience for bad Wi-Fi. Okay. Is everyone seeing me? Is nobody seeing me? Am I still here? Is it broken up? Did you guys all give up and go watch your favorite show instead? Okay. Oh, hi, Misty. Thanks for joining me. I think we're having technical difficulties. It has snowed all day today and it's very windy. So my Wi-Fi is not my friend. Oh, you guys haven't had any issues. Well, that's good to hear. So every time my screen goes black, it's not going black for you guys. Oh, so I just am pausing for no reason. Well, you know. All right. So I am adding these adorable little snowflakes, and they don't really pop out since I've got a white background. You could do gold if you want, but they're definitely there. There's a nice subtle little snowflake look. And now you could see those 3-dimensional trees. So fun. See them pop up a little bit, and obviously you could still send this flat, which is nice. And then or you could send them in a gift box. I always tell people if I'm sending like real dimensional cards, it usually is A, it's either in person, or B, it's in a package, or C, they get a flat card. Okay. All right, I'm going to do one here and then one more, and we're done with our little snowflakes. And that is our first card. And our second card is pretty simple since most of it's already done. So I added 6 of my little snowflakes there. I've got 2 on the bottom here, kind of balancing out the 2 up here. I could have even done a little more on this side since I've got just the 1 tree. I am now, ooh, or I can even like stick one here. I think I'm going to do that because I've got a lot of space. I could have even added another. There we go. Again, it's kind of subtle, but since I've got my greeting there in the center. Okay, I want to use a chunky glitter. I pulled all of them out. So I have Snowdrift, Crackled Glass, which is fun. I've used this in a class. I've got this, which is really fun, Tinseltown. Woo, I love it. So pretty. And then I've got Stardust. So I think I'm going to use the Stardust tonight. And I am going to find my Easy Squeeze craft glue. And hopefully it will, again, I'm a very bad glue mother and I never put my lid back on. And just, of course, after the last class, I left my lid off. I know, it's just terrible, but it's just who I am. I've just accepted it now. All right, I am doing a nice big glue dot, if my glue will let me, in each of these. And I'm even gonna do a couple extra around my tree. I'm going inside of all my little snowflakes here. Don't put your sleeve in your glue. I almost did. We were very close to a horrible glue sleeve incident. Okay, there we go. Yay. My glue cooperated. Everybody's happy. Stick my little pin back in it. And we are using Stardust from the Chunky Glitter Collection. Okay, and I'm just gonna sprinkle and tap. I'm tapping lightly because I have very big piles of glue everywhere. And then once this dries, I can give it a really good tap. So any loose glitter left behind will come off before I actually put my card away. All right, so pretty. Okay, let's give it a good tap, a gentle tap, because I've got big glitter dots. Woo! That turned out so fun. Inside of our little snowflakes, we've got our pretty glitter everywhere. Love it. Nice and sparkly. Chunky glitter and the holidays kind of go hand in hand. And again, I know I've told you guys this before, but if you head on over to pinkandmain.com and do some shopping, buy anything you were inspired from tonight, if you use code Demo Donna, all one word in all caps, they will know I sent you. So thank you for those of you that use my code and let them know I'm doing a good job. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, there's card number 1. We have not forgotten about card number 2, our cute little birdie. And we are gonna do a holiday cheer. That's gonna go in the center here. Oh, I think I should do a little bit of twine on this one too. Might as well finish my theme, the black and white twine. You could even do a little bow right here. Okay, scissors, check. I don't need that big a piece. I cut a huge one last time. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna take, I'll probably still be getting ink on everything due to my grimy little fingers. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Easy Tear tape, the 1/4 inch, which I pretty much use on everything. I am going to, we'll stick that guy down first. And if you notice, probably on the last one, I just left the backing on here. I didn't even peel it off. It's just the best adhesive. So set my little guy right there, tape it down. And voila. Holiday cheer, headed your way. I'm gonna grab some foam tape. Another trick, the backing of the foam is here, the sticky part is out here. If you fold it inward and pull away, it never sticks to your scissors. This isn't like the worst culprit, but some of them stick really bad. So that's a nice little trick to fold the backing inward with the sticky side out, and then it doesn't stick to your scissors, which is nice. Okay, that's I want my seine to be a little bit more in the center. So we're going to do a little bit off center and a little crooked, obviously. That's how I like it. Just a little off center, a little crooked. Okay. And then this is from the wonderful Pine Bows kit. I'm going to be layering these. So this is my first one. And I am going to go right about, I think I do want it coming in a little bit like so. Oh, I like that. I am going to stick another piece back here. I'm going to tuck it right under there, if I can get in there, and go up like that and underneath. So therefore, probably not the easiest to see on camera, but I wanted to have different dimensions. So I wanted some flat in the back and some popping up a little bit. And then I'm going to place my bird right there. And I might even grab this guy. I'm just going to trim it a little bit and kind of layer that. So I just cut a piece off. There we go. Just kind of layer that off a little bit. When you're working with stamps like these guys, you can really play. You don't have to use all the stamp like those guys. You can really play around with it to add dimension, especially if it's going to be in the background. I can even take this guy and pop that up. I mean, I might as well go crazy at this point just to prove my point to you guys. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. Okay, take your dimensional foam again. We need our little birdie to pop up. Our little birdie wants to pop up. Did not see any birds today. They all were hiding, smart, stayed out of the snow. Okay, and we're gonna put that guy right about there. I'm not trimming this off, by the way. I know he's sticking out. I'm leaving it like that. I'm gonna be okay with it. It can go in a 5x7 envelope. All right, I think I'm gonna take these black ones, just add a couple little black sprigs. All right, show of hands, how many of you have done some black and white Christmas cards in the past, or some black and white holiday cards? Is this something you've been a little nervous about, like it looks cool but you haven't tried it? I would love to know. I don't think I've ever, I probably have. I can't say I don't think I've ever done fully black and white like this with just a touch of red, but you never know. Sometimes you dive back into your stash and I'm like, oh, just kidding. Here it is. Okay, this side I think I'm going to add a little pine cone, and I'm going to pop that up. This is a really fun stamp set. Again, it's an older one, and I might have borrowed it from my lovely mother, who probably has expected it back by now. So thank you. I know it's a little off, like it's out of the norm to cut out a black Christmas tree, right? Like I think we just get so caught up in doing everything a certain way that I was like, I am going for it today. I am doing full black and white. I am doing black and white stamping, the works. Okay, there are these cute little pine cones, the larger pine cones. I cut all my nails off today, so I can't pick anything up. I think we're gonna do that little pine cone cluster. And we've got the white sprigs on this side, the black ones on that side. I mean, you guys have all though been out to your stores and seen like there's a lot of woodland themed ornaments, the black and white themed like this one, which is what inspired this. I'm gonna pop that up a little bit. And then I think, I'm not 100%, but I was going to possibly do like a couple little, these are those tiny little poinsettias from the winter decor. And I think I'm just gonna have them kind of popping out in the background, not be a focal point, but just tuck them back there, which is kind of fun. All right, I think I'm good. I'm happy with everything. I did want to add a border and I forgot. I was going to add a border with that chunky glitter and forgot. So instead, I think I'm just going to take my finer glue and just do a couple little dots here and there. And we're going to still add that chunky glitter. And I'm doing it on top of the black. So right now it'll look a little heavier, but when it dries, it won't. When it dries, it'll be a little bit more transparent and not as obvious. You'll just kind of see the actual sparkling glitter colors. All right. It's that fun time again where I'm gonna grab this guy right here, Stardust. So one trick with chunky glitter, and the reason I wanted to also do a border for you guys, if you ever use anything chunky on tape, you need to use a 2 glitter system. So you're gonna start with your chunky glitter, and then you're gonna finish up with your fine glitter. So therefore, when you're using the tape, anything, your adhesive, anything still exposed, the fine glitter will cover up. It's so pretty, we'll just leave it like that. I'm just kidding. It just snowed all over my card. Okay, I am just gonna do a little tap, tap, tap. Again, you can't brush it with your brush while it's still all wet, or you will end up with a gluey brush. I made quite the mess, but it's pretty. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight. You know I love hearing if you learned a new technique. I would love to hear from you if you've created black and white holiday cards in the past. Also, go over and share what you've done with them. If you were inspired tonight and you want to create some fun black and white holiday cards, I would love to see them. Tag me over at the Crafty Courtyard, or you can always head on over to my group, which is Demo Donna Design Studio, and share your fun creations. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you go to pinkandmane.com and you were inspired and want to scoop up some of these fun products tonight, use code DEMODONNA, all one word, and they will know that I sent you. Thank you guys so much. Oh, last but not least, we will be, Pink and Mane and myself will be demoing Shop and Show Live this Saturday. Bunch of make and takes and fun products and stuff like that. So check that out as well. Happy, what's today? Wednesday, everybody. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.